In today's video, we're going to cover a quick tutorial on how to update the firmware on your Atomos Zato Connect and take a quick tour through the menus. The first step you'll want to take is to navigate to the support section of the Atomos website and choose Zato Connect. Step 2 is going to be to check the formatting on the inserted SD card. You want the format to be exFAT. As I'm illustrating here, just double check, make sure you have it formatted to exFAT. If not, go back in to either Windows or your Mac and reformat the card in that format. Step 3, you want to go back to the support section on Atomos.com, select Zato Connect, navigate down to the firmware section, and download the firmware update. As you'll see that happening here. Takes about 10 seconds. Once the firmware update's completed, you'll want to jump in to your download section or wherever you have your downloads stored, and you'll want to copy the Zato Connect firmware update file from your PC or Mac over to the root of the SD card that you have selected for the Zato Connect. Go ahead and paste that in. And now you're ready to proceed with the firmware update on the Zato Connect. For those of you with other Atomos devices such as the Ninja 5 or Ninja 5 Plus, the difference with the Zato Connect is to power the device on, you only need to tap power for about 1 second instead of the standard 4 to 5 seconds that you find on the Ninja devices. We're going to wait here for the unit to boot up, and you'll come up to a familiar screen for those of you who've used the Ninja units. Showing no, I currently have nothing, no inputs connected on the Zato at this time. Going to check the network connection. I'm currently using the Ethernet USB-C to Ethernet dongle plugged into the back of the Zato Connect. You can see the network settings have populated. That happened very quickly, which was nice. And now we're on to the firmware update. I'm going to be inserting the SanDisk Extreme Pro 128 gig card into the Zato Connect unit. Slots on the right hand side. You'll notice it kind of goes in upside down when it's facing you. Click that into place, power the Zato Connect back on. If everything's gone well at this point and you have the file in the right place, when you reboot the Atomos Connect, it is going to immediately find the firmware update file and begin updating your firmware. This will actually pause and reboot a second time when it reaches 30%, as you'll see here in just a moment. And within a few seconds, it's going to power back on and continue with the firmware update. After about 5 more minutes, the firmware update's complete. Once the firmware update's complete, I will go ahead and grab the USB-C to Ethernet dongle adapter and go ahead and reconnect to the Zato Connect via the rear USB-C port. And yes, for those of you wondering, the Wi-Fi works perfectly well. I just happen to be right next to a wired connection and actually prefer that specifically for streaming purposes when I have the option. So we will go into the network settings, turn on Ethernet, and boom, instant connection, which this actually seemed like an improvement over the initial firmware that shipped with the unit. Going through the different menus here, your file naming, overlays that you can set up for streams. If you'd like to have different overlays set up on different points of the screen, you have that option, as you do in a number of different streaming units, but this seems extremely intuitive to use. A number of options there. Connections, of course, shows you your network connections. I have not established an Atomos Cloud account yet. Be filling that in shortly. You've got your network, your IOs. Nothing's connected at the moment. Output same, and audio mixer. In the General tab, you have your power settings. I currently have a NPF battery attached to this. You can adjust your display brightness, change your date and time, And in the About Device option, it shows you the current firmware version, which in this case is 10.0.1. You have the ability to factory reset, third-party software if it was available, which isn't at this time. Back to the main screen. And at this point, I'm going to power down the unit by holding the power button for the standard 3 to 4 seconds, just as you do on the Ninja units. Thanks very much for watching, and please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. Thanks again.